welcome back to Studioloo. It's Cindy. So I'm here with my weekly wrap-up video. I got a little bit done this week, kind of like a little bit on a bunch of different things. And then I did finish a couple of journals. So I'll just get started. I'm going to start with kind of the stitchy stuff. So I am not quite halfway done my Anne Brooke this is week 16, I think, of the tag challenge. I'm a little bit behind. I'll finish this up probably in the next day or two. It's couching. So the color that I chose to use that I found I haven't really used a lot in my tags has been purple, which is crazy because it's one of my favorite colors. So I'm going to be using a lot of purple with this. I might add some beads and some other things. I may layer this up a little bit. I've kind of been giving my one elbow a little bit of a rest with stitching this week because I think I did a little too much and I don't want to get like tennis elbow, and sometimes I can feel a little bit of tension, so I just take a break when that happens. So anyways, that's where the tag situation lies. For the next week, which I think is 17, this week she just did her video, and it is all about paper piecing with hexagons, but I do not have a paper punch for that, so I have actually ordered one because I wanted one anyways. I ordered a couple of sizes of hexagon paper punches. So next is my progress on the Adinda's World cushion, and I've actually gotten pretty far on it. I'm really loving it. It's really beautiful. It's coming together quite nice. It's the Dahlia cushion. I'm now past the 1, 2, 3 layers of these inner kind of not pistil but stamens, like these inner kind of bits to the flower, and now I am on the outer petals that are this shape, and I have learned so much with this cushion, and I think my crochet hook is mysteriously missing in this bag somewhere. I need to find it. I hear it. It's in there somewhere. But yeah, I've learned a lot. I've learned treble crochet and double treble crochet. And when I say learned, like I've done these things before, but I've never done them in a way that I've like retained kind of the crochet knowledge, but I definitely am doing so with this project. So that's good. I need to find this hook. It's going to drive me crazy if I don't. And there's the back. It's not in here. I sort of have this memory of hearing it go clink in the car when I was in the car, so I probably need to go search my car, which is fine because I actually cleaned out my entire car this week. That was another thing that I managed to get done. So it's not in here. It's definitely inside my car. So the nice thing about crochet is that when you lose your hook, your stitches typically just stay put. It's not like knitting where you can lose like an entire row. So I will just tuck that away. But yeah, I can tell you so far the pattern for this, I would recommend it, to be completely honest. It's a nice guide, and I think even if you're new to crochet, like I'm not completely new to crochet, I've crocheted for many, many years, but not following a pattern and not doing specifically what I'm supposed to do or as I'm told to do. As long as you can, you know, get to a certain part of a pattern and then look up a YouTube video. Say you don't know how to do a double crochet. Look up a video how to double crochet. Then what you'll find with this pattern is you're going to be doing a whole bunch of it. So you don't have to remember like, 12 different stitches and it's really complicated. It's not like that. You're going to be doing like double crochet again and again and again for a long time with, basic things that you've already done. So it's kind of gradual. Then you have to do treble crochet and double crochet, which you'll find, if you're not aware, are just a variance on the double crochet, except you're wrapping that hook one more time. It's like 2, 3, and 4 wraps to, yeah, it's not that different. So it's been a good learning experience. I think it's a good project to kind of build your confidence with what you can do with crochet. So definitely recommend Adinda's World and her Dahlia cushion pattern. Okay, I think that's all I've literally done for stitching this week. A big part of what I finished this week in case you haven't seen my video, is this, the Beltane journal. And I know it's a little big for this zoomed in screen, but that's okay. I have a flip through on my channel of this journal, and it is in my shop. So this is the celebration of spring, the Blessed Beltane journal. And I made it all from bark that I pieced. I'll show you the progress of another book that I'm currently making in the same kind of manner, but I'm using not just the Austrian pine bark, but I'm also using birch bark that I stripped from some logs that I had from our family property. And so this one's in progress, and it's still drying. The sealant is still drying. You'll see some milkiness here that's still wet. So yeah, it's layers and layers, and it's a great deal of work, but it's really worth it, because what you end up with is just something really beautiful like this. So I absolutely adore this book, and if you're interested in it, there is like a 45-minute flip through, because it's a tome, and it was my May Release the Craft and project, so check it out. Okay, so I have one more brand new finished thing that I just finished this morning. I'm going to put a flip through of this book on my channel, probably today or tomorrow. So this is my Sea Witches journal in this old book, The Turn of the Tide. And I just added this nice little shell here. So this book is really quite lovely. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'll just give you a little bit of a flippity, but I'll do an actual flip through. And it is a really fun story. It's a Scottish book about, hard-boiled eggs. When you are finished with your eggs, to beat the shells, don't leave them whole, because the story goes that it will attract sea witches, and they will use them to construct these sea vessels, these ships, and then they will basically just terrorize the sailors on the sea until they perish, and then they'll go away. So if you don't want to cause a sea witch calamity, make sure you break up those shells. So it's a really fun, it's a fun story. It's a, an older style story where, maybe not for children today, I don't know, by whomever standards, but yeah, I liked it, and it's fun, and it paired really well with this antique book from 1908. So anyhow, next thing I have to share, most of what I have to share this week is kind of haul. It's all, my week has been a couple of things. It's been a rainy week. It's been trips to some neighboring towns to pick up estate auctions that I've won, and take nice long walks in graveyards, because that's what I do as my safe walking place. So I'll tell you a couple stories about that. Hold on. Okay, so the first treasure that I got, I was very surprised that I won this, and actually for a very inexpensive price for what it is. So this is an entire box of postcards, and they are, some of them are from the early 1900s. Most of them are from the 50s through the 70s, and they were mostly sent to this doctor and his wife, and they are organized by the country that they came from, and almost all of them are written on the back. So this one, this go into the 80s too, because this one is 1986, and yeah, there's all sorts. Let me pull out a few. This one's older but doesn't have an address or any writing on the back. Here's one. This one is from 1906, and it is written on. And yeah, they're really nice. This one's from Bologna, and it's to a doctor, to that doctor. I love this one. This is a photograph postcard, but it doesn't have it's actually a photograph, really. It doesn't have the postcard marking. My apologies. Usually photo postcards did have the markings, like they would be a photograph, and then they would have the marking on the back. So this one, does it have the year? 1924, April 1924. It's 7:30 p.m. Yeah, so most of them are kind of like landscape type images. Ceylon, is that what they used to call that? Ceylon. Yeah. England, Venezuela. I mean, the biggest part that I really love about this is just reading them. This one's from 1978. And some of them, there's Guatemala. This is one of the older, 1915. October 3rd, 1915. Yeah, there's lots of older ones in here, these little ones. St. Paul's Cathedral, London. This is from 1957. August 5th. I can't tell. But yeah, these were really cool to find. So let me see. Germany. Look how nice that is. It's like a little mini village you can see people standing in. It's so cute. Yeah, but I thought, what a treasure. So this is kind of the vein of most of what I got. A lot of vintage photos, a lot of vintage postcards. That's beautiful. Look at those saris. A lot of them are from this person, Abbott, who had beautiful writing. Dear Doctor, greetings and good anesthesia from the Comoro Islands. The Comoros are tiny remote jewels in the Mozambique Channel of the Indian Ocean. Yet pentothal, this fentanyl, has found its way here as it lands large and small around the globe. Truly, pentothal has become the international IV agent. Abbott. So I guess he's talking about medicine. Pentothal. I only know of one use of that, and it's not a positive one, but I don't know a lot about medicine. I'm not a doctor. So look at these dogs, the South Pacific. This one is 1908. Yeah, so really cool. Oh, wow. Look at this one from Wales. How beautiful is her dress? Gorgeous. I think there's a couple of them together here. Oh, there's two. Two of the same postcard. Newfoundland. Yeah, but anyways, oh, what's this? I haven't actually looked through these yet, so that's why I'm taking my time here, because these are a bunch of photos. That's nice. Yeah, little photos of different places in Alberta. Lake Louise, all different provinces, I guess. But yeah, I haven't really looked at any of my stuff this week. I've just had a busy week. Lots of outdoor time. I've been gardening. I've been working on my garden. Yesterday, I uprooted our garden beds. Well, one of them anyways. And I had to move around all of my strawberry plants because strawberry plants, they grow these like reacher kind of roots and then they end up sprouting strawberry plants everywhere. So I wanted to just make them neat again, and I did that. I just had to pause there for a moment. It took me a little bit longer than I anticipated to grab the next thing. So these, I have to decide, well, this and the other one. I got these two extremely old. They're from 1880. and they are old photo albums. This is album. This was all red velvet, but it has really deteriorated. So it has this clasp that's falling off here. That's beautiful. And when you open it up, this one actually, it's a photo album, obviously, but this one is actually empty, but it has these amazing pages. So I'm probably going to make like cabinet cards or journal covers with something inside the frames out of this. Then I was thinking about what I want to do with this, and I may stitch on it and I may restore it. It has a wooden frame inside, so you know, it needs to, first I need to do a deep vacuuming of it to just completely clean it out. Then I'm going to do like a dry cleaning technique that I've learned, and I'm going to probably stitch on it and then decide what's next for it, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to use it. But it's treasure. It's from 1880. I mean, it's amazing. So then this one, is incredible too. So it's like extremely long and skinny. Like it is, you know, 12 inches, 16 inches long. So this is a long book, and it's very similar. It's in better shape, actually. It's not as stripped, but you know what I was thinking about doing with this is making like a Victorian style needle book out of it, and like maybe embroidering roses and leaves on the front. And then when you open it, there would be like, well, first of all, there's this gilding that's like to die for. Look at that gilding. So again, this is from 1880, and I would probably take out these and make cabinet cards or something with them. They're also gilded, and use them for something special, and fill this book with like tea-dyed cotton pages, quilted, with stitching and maybe like stitched frames. I'm not sure if I would keep it or I would put it in the shop. I don't know. But the book itself, it's very delicate, obviously. It needs a lot of restoration work. This is all old, you know, gilded paper. But yeah, I thought this was really beautiful. I didn't pay very much for it. Definitely for what it is. It's got wooden framing inside of it, and yeah, it needs a lot of restoration. And I've already done some research, and I think I know what I'm going to do to restore it. I've done quite a bit of research already on how to do that. So I don't know, leave me a comment. Tell me what you would do maybe with this interesting book. I just feel like it could be really beautiful, even if like you were to maybe split down the middle, like from the inside, and you would have like two flapping kind of books. Maybe one could be paper and one could be fabric. And it could be like a Victorian style needle keep on one side and maybe like a Victorian journal on the other side. And it could be the kind of thing like a lap book. Like you could sit down, you know, you could write about your stitching, you could paste down your cross stitch pattern on the paper, and then like you could stitch or keep your needles or things like that. So yeah, I've got a lot of thoughts in this about how it could be like a journal / kit. I'm definitely feeling like a Victorian vibe for it. So yeah, tell me what you might do and what your thoughts on what I should do would be. And with that lot, I got a few other things that are quite lovely. So this little book, just look at this cover. Isn't that amazing? It has metal. It has what potentially could be ivory on the front. I'm not sure, but it feels like, I mean, it could be a plastic. I don't know though. It's very old. I feel like it probably could be ivory. This is metal. And then this, I think is like possibly paper. Yeah, I think it must be paper. The spine is falling off of this little book, but it is just a treasure. It's beautiful. I'm going to do some tests to see what this is, because if it's ivory, I probably won't sell it, because you know, that's animal trade stuff and we don't want to do that. So I would remove it or something, but hopefully it's just some kind of an acetate or a plastic. I don't know the exact date on this, but it is the 1880s once again. So I don't know when like the kinds of, like, not plastics obviously, but like any kind of that kind of like substance was available. So I have to do more research on this book, but I love these little metal details. So it's very much falling apart. It would be great for cabinet cards. It does have some old photos in it already. It's J. Meyer, general photographer. All work done in an artistic style, Cass City, Michigan. That photo. This lovely woman. Then we have this guy. Some older people here in this book. W. Langdale, photographer, Wingham. And this gentleman. I can't really read this. It's like, it almost looks like MOOY from Harris. And then it's for, looks like it says wife. I don't know. Yeah, but this book is really neat. Star Studio, 193 Yonge Street, Toronto. This little boy. And then this young man here with a book. And this is a very old bleached photo. That's beautiful. He was so handsome. Look at his hair. I mean, he's very serious looking, but yeah, I like the curly hair. So yeah, that's this book. I know very little about this album. It's really interesting though. Then I also got this framed photo. Love the frame. Love the photo. The glass is behind the photo for some reason, and I need to kind of sort it out. The frame is a little, this is going to actually fall off. Yeah, it's very brittle. I knew it was very brittle. I can repair that though. I can solder that back on. So there's that. Not sure what I'll do with that yet. And then this is a large cabinet card photograph. Aristo panel. This is gold. This is a beautiful couple. I love her dress. G.A. Werner, photographer, gallery, corner 3rd and Main Streets, Marquette, Michigan. Life-size portraits in ink, watercolor, pastel, and oil. Views made of residences. So it's like a photographer's advertisement kind of. And then there's this cabinet card as well. And then this is a photograph of like, I guess like some singers, like a choir with all their names at the bottom from Barter's Film Lab, Charlottetown, PEI. And then a few more cabinet cards. This one of like a soldier maybe, or just a guy dressed up. And this one on the back, it says, myself, pink as usual. And it's a very old, it's a tintype. This one, W. Craig, photo artist, Owen Sound. The sky. And this one I love, these two ladies in these hats. And then this adorable little guy dressed like a little sailor. Like, how cute. Oh, so cute. So that is that lot of things. And I kind of looked at those. Now I have another lot of things I got. So be warned, I haven't even looked at these yet. Let me just grab them. There's three things in total. Let me just grab them. Okay, so the first is this big Victorian scrapbook. So it's huge. It's like 12 by, I'm guessing, like 13, 14, like 12 by 15. It's really big. These are all embossed in silver and gold, and this beautiful woman is on the front. The spine is like gone, I'm guessing, or it was a bound exposed, but I'm pretty sure probably it's gone. I haven't looked in here yet, so if there's any Victorian nudes, I apologize. It says Scrapbook of Berta Carveth before years 1901, and that's written in pencil. And actually, this isn't even attached, so I can bring it up here and show you. See the handwriting there? So we have Christmas Eve and this little girl, and this is pasted down. A Roman augur. Wow, he's, I guess, killing a bird. And then this picture of a dog. It's beautiful. Paper's kind of pink. And this large picture. And I guess this is a woman cleaning like a bust. And then this is lovely, this pink paper, and there's all these old paper dolls that have been pasted down. And this paper is like a bluey color, and it's more paper dolls, and it has little dogs, and the text underneath, it says, "My suspicions are confirmed, having made friends with everybody and endeared myself to all by obliging good nature, I eventually depart amid general lamentations. I begin to suspect I am among friends. I commence sitting and choose something, which if it does not suit the picture, suits me. Finding I am required to sit in a tub, I adopt the philosophy of Diogenes and try to make the best of a rather dull job." And then this beautiful picture of this girl with a lamb and a kitten, and she's carrying some like flowers in front of a rose garden. It's amazing to be just like leafing through someone's scrapbook from like before 1901. How the battle was won. And then like this couple on a horseback at a carriage. And then some flowers that have been pasted down here. And this says Clara by Adelaide Cole Chase from a Copley print, copyright 1901 by Curtis and Cameron. Priscilla, modest, simple, and sweet, Longfellow. An empty page. And puppies, lots of puppies. The Conger Fleet. And more puppies. Okay, this is my kind of woman who had this book. We like her. A surprise, and it's like a boy with an apple behind his back and a carrot. I'm guessing he did that like choose a hand and like you'll get whatever. He has this basket of apples and carrots, and I'm guessing this boy probably asked for an apple and he said choose a hand and he got the carrot instead. That's my guess. The Dog Cellar. A picnic party. Blank pages now, I think. Beautiful big pink pages though. And some brown pages. Yeah, so that is the big Victorian scrapbook. And then on the back there's some embossing. Maybe if I do this in the light you can see there's like an emblem here. Yeah. And I'm trying to look at what the... It's like a brand name at the bottom, but I can't make it out. Okay, so next... Okay, here we go. This is postcard album. And I'm guessing also it is early 1900. It is threadbare in this spine. And it's that old photograph paper, that black, you know, framing paper. And we have this sweet image of this little girl sitting on some stairs looking very serious. And there's just kind of a sporadic photos in here, sporadically here. And then this boy. And then we have this man and two little kids in a tree. And this is a whole family. That's a postcard. Love those photo postcards. Okay. Empty pages. And then we have a whole spread here of women in gardens and men farmers standing outside of their farms and farms, big families, kids, lots of cool photos. And this is more, I would say, farming, horses and cows, pigs, beautiful Irish setters. Looks like a donkey. Yeah, it's a donkey. More sort of family scenes and animals. Soldiers. This looks like kind of vacation. Out in canoes, and looks like they're on some kind of like a boat somewhere, and they're in a winter scene. A baby in a sled, and all sorts of nice photos. I think these are empty. Yeah. Then we have this guy. He looks like some kind of a, it says Blood and Fire, the Salvation Army. So I guess he's a Salvation Army person. This is a girl on a donkey. I'll bring that up here and you can see it. It sounds like my kids are having a calamity upstairs. Just ignore that. Their dad will sort it out. And then these are kids, cute little kids on a donkey. All right, so that is that little album. Very sweet. Okay, and then the last one is this large scrapbook. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm thinking like these might become like lap books or something. We'll see. It's all embossed and it's got very old postcards in it. Now, I don't know if they're written on. That one doesn't look in. I'm guessing they're not, because probably like these were collected during travels, like, you know, Côte d'Azur, de Monaco, à San Remo, Monte Carlo, Casino et Jardin. Yeah, so these are probably like collected while traveling and then put into a scrapbook rather than mailed. Paris. Lots of Paris. And then some of these were written on, we both hope not to be forgotten, and that we may all, see you both again. As soon as I hear you have gotten this, I will write you a letter. Mrs. B and Rose Marie, join me in love and all good wishes to something of you. Believe me, very affectionately yours, Grace de Olivia, September 9th of 1912. So that's interesting. She wrote on the front of it, the postcard. And I wonder if it was ever mailed. It's interesting. Lots of beautiful Paris images here. And I love this old cottony paper, of course. Avenue de Champs-Élysées. Some like tin types. Musée de Luxembourg. Lots of lovely Paris. This is a Paris scrapbook. Rouen. Lots of cathedrals. An empty page. Pompeii and Roma. Really cool. So yeah, that was my little estate auction haul that I got this week. I think that that's pretty much everything, other than I got this nice little like random act of kindness from a Stampin' Up! Representative. I had asked her to try to help me find a certain punch that I was looking for, and she couldn't find it, so she left me this sweet little note and dropped this off for me. It's just as a gift to say, like, sorry I couldn't find the punch you were looking for, and I thought that was really nice. So outside of that, I think that's all I've got to share for today, but keep your eye out. I will have a journal flip through coming for the Turn of the Tide journal, and thanks again for joining me on this little mostly haul wrap up. I hope that you are getting outside and having some nice weather and getting some gardening done and stuff. And yeah, thanks for hanging out, and all my information is down below. I will try to post links to a few things that I talked about, and have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.